friends, welcome to Gyan Gurukul classes. Today we will see how in an economy, okay, the producers and consumers together can, decide how much to produce and how to exchange the quantities among them. Okay, how much to be produced in the economy, as well as uh, you know how the produced amount to be distributed among all the consumers in the economy, right? And for this purpose we have taken economy which is very simplified, right? We have taken an economy which is very simplified, and in this economy, see, there are only two products produced, right? What are the two products? They are product X and product Y, right? There are two products produced, they are X and Y here, and there are two consumers only, right? One is consumer A and one is consumer B, right? There are two products and there are two consumers, A and B, and at the same time there are only two factors of production, capital and labor, right? So this model is also called a 2 by 2 by 2 economy, okay, where there are two products, two two factors of two factors of production, then two products and two consumers, right? Okay, now the products have been shown in these two axes. In the y-axis we are showing product Y, and in the x-axis we are denoting product X. Clear? Now this curve is the production possibility frontier of the economy. Okay, this curve is the production possibility frontier of the economy, which is showing various bundles of X and Y that can be produced with the given amount of labor and capital in the economy. Okay, with the amount of labor and capital in the economy, how much of X and Y can be produced, that is being denoted by this very curve. Okay, this is called the production possibility frontier. Okay, we have already learned about this curve in our previous lessons. Okay, if you haven't watched it, then you can go back to our previous videos and can see what is production possibility frontier. Clear? Okay, now let's see. Take any one point in this production possibility frontier. Okay, let's say this point, this is called point, say, A, right? Now point A is denoting some amount of X, say x1, and at the same time it is also denoting some amount of Y. Okay, let's denote this as y1, right? X1 and y1 amount of both the two commodities is being produced at this point A, right? Now when we draw in such a way, okay, we got also a edgeward box. Okay, we can also get for each and every point in this curve, we can draw a edgeward box, right? Now see, this is a edgeward box, and in between here, okay, we can draw numerous indifference curve for both the two consumers, that is A and B, right? We can draw numerous indifference curve for both the consumers, consumer A and B, like this way. Say this may be one indifference curve for consumer A, this may be one, this may be another one, this may be another one, okay, this may be another one, right? Similarly, this is suppose a curve for indifference curve for consumer B, right? This is another curve, this is another curve, and say this is another curve, right? Okay, and all these curves are showing all these points where both the two curves, you see here at this point where both the two curves are tangent to each other, say at this point, at this point, at this point, or at this point, and when we join all these points, what we get? We get a concentric curve, right? And at any point in the concentric curve, it would show us a particular amount of X and Y that is being consumed by one consumer, and a particular amount of X and Y that is being consumed by other consumer, right? We have already known about it, we have already studied about it, right? Okay, now similarly, just like A, and we take the point A, we can also take another point, say here point B, okay, or we can take a point here, say point C, and also draw a draw a concentric curve here, and see how the both the two consumers are consuming with the help of an edgeward box, right? Okay, now for simplicity, let's take one particular point. Okay, let's say we take let's say this point, okay, point B, right? Now let me draw the edgeward box. Okay, right. Now how many amount of x is being produced? Say this much of x, okay, x1 and y1 amount of, you know, commodity y has been produced, okay, at point B, right? Okay, we have for simplicity we are taking only one point, right? Okay, now here uh, first let's draw the, you know, isoquants. So not isoquants, the indifference curves of consumer A, right? Let me draw them. Okay, 1 2 3 4, okay, so 5, right? And now let me draw the indifference curves of consumer B. Okay, let's say these are the indifference curves of consumer B. Okay, right. Now we have once we got the indifference curves of A and B. Now we will see one thing. Okay, we will see one thing. See, first we have to check the slope of the production possibility frontier at this very particular point. Okay, we have to check the slope of the PPF at this very particular point. Let's say this is the, okay, this is the slope of, you know, production possibility frontier at point B, right? This is the slope of the production possibility frontier at point B, right? Now what does the slope of PPF tell us? It is telling us what is the, you know, marginal rate of transformation between x and y at this very particular point. Okay, at this very particular point of y, not y, sorry, at this very particular point B, right? So at point B, the marginal rate of transformation between x and y is being derived by this curve. Okay, this is the slope of the PPF at point B. Okay, this curve is nothing but it is showing the slope of the PPF at point B. Clear? Now, what we have to do? We have to draw a curve like this, which is parallel, and we will check at what point that particular slope is being achieved, where both the two indifference curves of both the two consumers are tangent to each other. Okay, let me make it more simplified. See, what we will do now, we will uh, see the, first we will see the slopes of, you know, slopes of the point where both the two ICs or the two indifference curves of both the two producers are tangent to each other. Okay, see this point, let's take this point. Okay, let's take this point. At all these points we will draw a straight line. Okay, and we will check the slope. Okay, let me increase the size, right? Okay, now let's say this is a slope, right? Then this is another slope. Clear? Then here the slope is more steeper. Say the slope is more steeper than before, right? Then here also we are getting a slope like this. Okay, then in this way we will get slopes of various dimensions. Okay, say some slopes may be flat, some slopes may be more steep, right? Okay, so at all the points where both the two ICs, okay, both the two ICs or the indifference curves of consumer A and consumer B are tangent to each other, at those points we will draw a straight line and see what is the slope of at that particular point. Okay, now see what we have to do. We have to find that particular point of tangency of the indifference curves of consumer A and B, where the slope of tangency, or the, you know, the straight line passing through that particular point is exactly, you know, parallel to this curve here. Okay, is exactly parallel to this curve here, right? Now see, all the slopes of tangency are being, you know, shown with the help of indifference curves here, right? Now what we have to see, we have to find a particular straight line which is parallel to this line, right? Now let's suppose over here at this point, say this particular point, let me change the color here. Okay, at this particular point, let's say this slope, okay, this slope or the straight line here is now parallel to this line. Okay, is parallel to this particular line. Okay, let us suppose this is parallel to this, you know, this point. Okay, or this line, sorry. Now what does it mean? If both the two curves are parallel, that means the slope at point D is, okay, the slope at this point, say let's denote this point as point F. That means the slope at point F is equal to slope at point B, right? If the straight line drawn through the point F is parallel to the straight line here, that means the slope at point F is equal to the slope at point B, right? Okay, now see another thing. Okay, see, at point F there are two indifference curves of consumer A and B, which are tangent to each other, right? Now let me name these two indifference curves. See, this one is the indifference curve of consumer A, so let me name it as IA, right? Let me name it as IA. And this very curve is consumer or indifference curve of consumer B, right? So let me denote it as IB, right? IA is the indifference curve, okay, this indifference curve of consumer A, and IB is the indifference curve of consumer B at point F, right? Now at any point, we know that at any point in the indifference curve, if we draw the slope at any point of the indifference curve, then that particular slope shows us the marginal rate of substitution between x and y, right? We have already learned in our indifference curve analysis that at any particular point in the indifference curve, if we draw a slope, then that means marginal rate of substitution between x and y at that very particular point. Clear? Now at this point F, okay, at this point F, it is showing the marginal rate of substitution between x and y of what? Of consumer A. Okay, this curve, okay, this curve, at this curve, this point here, okay, at this point IA, sorry, not point, at this curve IA at point F, it is showing the marginal rate of substitution of x and y for consumer A. Clear? Right? But at the same point, okay, at the same point, we are also finding a point of indifference curve IB. Okay, we are also finding a point of the indifference curve of consumer B, right? Which is again the point F, right? See, at point F, because the two ICs are tangent to each other, it is meaning that that particular F is a point of both IA and both IB, right? Because they are tangent to each other, it is meaning that the point F belongs to both both the indifference curve of consumer A and consumer B, right? That means just like it is denoting the marginal rate of substitution of x and y of consumer A, it is also denoting the marginal rate of substitution between x and y for consumer B as well, right? It is also denoting the MRS XY of consumer B, right? It is also denoting the MRS XY of consumer B as well. Clear? Okay. So what we know, from here we know that just because it is the point of tangency of both the indifference curves of consumer A and B, therefore at this point F, MRS XY of A is equal to the MRS XY of B. Clear? Okay, that one point is clear now, right? Now let's move to the second point. See, what is the second point? The second point is that at point F and at point B, right? At point F and at point B, when we draw the straight line, okay, when we draw the straight line to find out the slope of that at that particular point, when we try to figure out the slope of the curve at that particular point, right? Both the two curves, okay, both the two curves are parallel, okay, both the two curves are parallel, which means that the slope at point B is equal to the slope at point F. Okay, slope at point B is equal to the slope at point F, and we know that at any point the slope of production possibility frontier is called marginal rate of transformation between x and y, right? The marginal rate of transformation between x and y. Clear? That means at this point the slope, this, okay, this is showing what? Marginal rate of transformation of x and y. Clear? And because the slope is equal to this slope, that means this marginal rate of transformation of x and y is equal to the marginal rate of substitution between x and y for both the two consumers A and B. Okay, so from all these we got a equation, not equation actually, we got a criteria. Okay, we got a criteria. See, what is this criteria? This criteria says that at a point of equilibrium, the marginal rate of transformation of both the two commodities, okay, X and Y, it should be equal to the marginal rate of substitution of X and Y for consumer A, and it should again be equal to the marginal rate of substitution, okay, marginal rate of substitution for consumer B, right? So this is the criteria that we have to fulfill, right? So this is the criteria of equilibrium, or best possible combination for the economy as a whole. Okay, this criteria, okay, we will always try to find out this criteria for achieving the equilibrium of the economy, right? See, if you take any point here, okay, all the other points, okay, say this point, right, say this point, in all these points we will find that the marginal rate of substitution of X and Y for consumer A and consumer B is equal, right? The MRSXY of both the two consumers are equal, right? The price criteria is fulfilled, okay, at all these points, right? But when you see the second criteria, that is MRTXY should be equal to marginal rate of substitution of A and B, okay, that second criteria is not fulfilled, okay. Why not fulfill? See, here the curve looks more flatter than this curve, okay, or in other points, in some other points maybe what happened, the slope is more steeper than this slope, right? So the second criteria, that the slopes of the slope at this point and the tangency point should be equal or the similar is not fulfilled, or the second criteria is not fulfilled in other points, right? That is why they are not the point of equilibrium, okay. Only this is the point of equilibrium, okay. And let's see how means, that is what is the exchange, right? See, at this point, this amount, say this one is X star, okay, X star, and this one is say Y star, right? X star and Y star, right? Now you can see this when the economy is producing at B, okay, when the economy is producing at B, how much of X it is producing? It is producing X1 amount of X, and it is producing Y1 amount of Y, right? X1 of X and Y1 of Y. Clear? This is the amount of production. And let's see how the exchange between the two consumers is been taken off. Okay, see, O X star amount of X has been consumed, okay, or demanded by consumer A, and O Y star amount of commodity Y is being demanded or consumed by consumer A, okay. That is the quota for consumer A. And the rest, that is, okay, that is Y1 Y star amount of Y has been consumed by consumer B, and this amount, or you can say this amount, X star X1 amount of X has been demanded or consumed by consumer B. Therefore all the amount of X and Y that has been produced in the economy is being totally consumed by both the two consumers, right? All the amount that has been produced in the economy is being exactly consumed by both the two consumers, right? So this is the point of equilibrium for the economy as a whole, where the marginal rate of transformation of X and Y is equal to the marginal rate of substitution of X and Y for both the two consumers, right? Okay, with this is the end of the video. And friends, if you like our video, then please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe, and also share our videos too as well. And if there are any queries, then let me know in the comment section. Okay, right, thank you.